Okay, Roshini, you're good to go.
Hi there, can everyone hear me? Just okay? Awesome. Hello, everyone. Good morning and very warm welcome to our final day of Sweet Spot Malaysia Digital Youth Hackathon for Diabetes. Silent claps all around. I'm so happy to see all of you on this Sunday morning, especially after two very grueling, I hope not too grueling, weeks of design thinking, advocacy, even building Google sites for the first time. We are very excited to see what you have prepared for today. We actually have a very tight schedule, so let me just get straight into it if that's all right. As you know, right after this, we will be going straight into your preliminary round. Last night, all of you have already been randomly assigned into two groups, yes. In those groups, you will be going through 1 hour of presentations with your respective judges, after which two best teams will be selected from each groups or each live stream to go into the final presentation round with our chief judge for today, Dr. Chong, who is the Deputy Director General from the Ministry of Health Malaysia. If you remember, we have met him before on your first officiation of the hackathon. So we'll be seeing him later on for the final presentation. After which, we will then go into the judges' deliberation and a final judges' remark by the CEO of Impact Integrated, Mr. Ahmed Faris Amir. Right after that, I'm sure you'll be very nervous. So in order to calm you down, we'll be going into a very quick conclusion ceremony, starting off with a speech by Maureen, who is the country lead and also general manager of Sanofi, followed by a closing keynote address by our Minister of Health himself, Dr. Adam Bapa from the Ministry of Health. And then we will then, of course, announce the winners of our hackathon. Just a very quick note here, because I know we'll be too excited later on. For the 3 groups of winners, please stay back to speak with me afterwards. Don't leave straight away because we need to talk to you for our press release. So stay back, yeah? I hope everyone is clear on our agenda for today. Very tight schedule. Very important reminders for today before we break immediately into the 2 groups. Please be aware of our color scheme of our timekeepers. Green means you have time to present. Yellow means 1 minute left. And of course, red means you only have 10 seconds before you are automatically muted. No nonsense about this. If you are a presenter, it's super important that you remember to pin the video of our timekeeper. You'll be able to notice it in our participant list. For other team members to also be very aware on where the team timekeeper is in your own gallery view, to also pin the video with the timekeeper's name, and also to be very alert with the color changes. Is that okay? All right. I think we're about ready. To our Zoom hosts, I hope you are ready too. Without further ado, let's go into the to the first preliminary round. Good luck, everyone. All the best. See you on the other side.
Hello, good morning, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes.
Great. Thanks, Shaz. Okay, we will start today. Before that, let me welcome Dr. Zanaria and Ahmed Faris. Can I call you Matt? I'm the timekeeper for today. First, we're going to go with team number 3, and then next one, 2, team 1, 4, and 7. So I'll just take it away, team 3. All the best.
Okay. Can I share screen first before you start the time?
Yes. And make sure you pin my video.
Yes, you are pinned on the side. Am I audible?
Yep.
Am I clear?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right, fantastic. Okay, so if we're ready. Hi everyone, we're from Team 3, the Tropical Timon. We are a digital health startup which intends to reduce the prevalence of diabetes through preventive measures. So let's take a look at our target group for today. Surprise, surprise, Malaysia is among the top 5 most overworked countries in the world, and the weight of this is bared by the urban middle class. where they commonly find themselves in high-pressure working environments. Between family commitments and competing priorities, they really have no time to think about their nutrition nor exercise. The thought of contracting diabetes or even getting tested is the last thing on their mind. And as a consequence, 66% are either overweight or obese. And as we all know, these two factors highly linked to an increased risk in contracting diabetes. We believe the main contributor to this problem are employers who do not have adequate culture and policies in place to promote a healthy and balanced lifestyle. But let's face it, right? We spend an upward of 8 hours or more at work, and company culture is bound to affect our physical well-being. So this struggle and problem was faced by at least 150 people that we surveyed in the past week. 63% of our respondents said that their companies do not actively promote a healthy lifestyle at the office. And more than 50% of employees who do have a canteen, they do not provide a healthy option for their employees. When looking at individual motivations, we found that 90% of our respondents felt that food prices, insufficient time, and as well as procrastination to be the biggest hindrance to promoting and maintaining a healthy lifestyle. So looking at everyone's experience, we believe some digital nudges and incentives would lead to the desirable behavioral changes.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing our solution, Sihat Days. So Sihat Days is a subscription-based integrated health and wellness solution which targets organizations to encourage a healthy lifestyle. Now, why are we targeting organization? Alia has mentioned that we spend an upwards of 8 hours. So organization, and based on our survey as well, they want their companies to actually take a part in their health journeys. Now, let's look at the 4 pillars of our solution and app. Now, we have nudges. Now, the nudges will use users' data to send push notifications to look at how we can encourage this healthy behavior, leveraging on incentives and rewards like discounts on healthy restaurants, groceries, and gyms. Now, this is not just an app. We also have programs, and these are expert-led programs are tailored to the companies. For example, they can have a running week where they can encourage everyone to upload their steps on the platform itself just to see how it looks like. Now, let me give you a visual outlook on how the app would look like. Let's say now you sign up, you can fill in your form, you can also calculate the health risk, and it gives you sort of an idea of where you're at. And at the homepage, this is where the companies can actually post their programs, and we have discounts. You can also upload your steps, and there are nudges like this where you can get extra discount if you reach a certain milestone. Now, in the profile, we have a high risk, whatever the profile that the person is, you can even retake it if you're doing well as well. Now, you may be thinking, why would organizations need this? So we did some maths, right? Yearly, Malaysia productivity loss due to NCDs is 8.91 billion. Now, per person is about 2.3K, but if you look at the companies that have tens of thousands of employees, this can add up. Now, additionally, as you develop that healthy and productive workforce and an improved culture, you can also reduce the insurance premiums for the company. So I'm looking at that as a cost outlook. Now, for the person, for the M40s, what's in it for them, right? So through these nudges, through the company developing that culture from top down, when the leadership buys in, you feel that you would want to develop that healthy lifestyle. You would want to go and exercise. So it's both part, right? So it's your initiative, but also the company's initiative as well. So how are we looking at reducing the prevalence of diabetes? This is through the lifestyle management solution that we have just provided. And it's not just individual. It is also the company, and the impact, if implemented correctly for Malaysians, especially the companies where they spend more than 8 hours a day, is going to be massive. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, thank you so much, Team 3. We'll open up for a Q&A session from the judges.
Thank you very much for such a very clear presentation. I really enjoyed that. How ready do you think the employees out there in most organizations to accept this?
That's a very good question, right? And I think Malaysia as well. And we just said, Alia just mentioned that Malaysia is one of the most overworked country, and that goes down to the fact that employers expect them to work long hours, right? which is why I actually highlighted in terms of cost as well, or even productivity losses. So to make them understand, because if we go with an approach where you should make your employees healthy, you should make your employees happy without any numerical value, I feel that they're not really going to understand where the solution will come beneficial for them. So when we come in, we have to tell them that this is something that would happen to them. In terms of readiness, I think, as a lot of my friends as well and millennials are pushing for this kind of behavior, I hope that through this we can create that awareness and advocacy to push this culture of healthy living.
Yeah, certainly to have this initiative done where we spend most of our time in the day, which is in the organization and at work, is certainly a priority. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Can't hear you, Faris. Sorry, you're mute.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Sorry. Yeah. Yeah. I like the idea. It's great. As an employer, I can imagine liking it, but I can't imagine how in your proposal now will you really attract the employers getting on board of this beyond reducing insurance costs as well as improving productivity. But more importantly, I think the idea generally is about making the employees healthier. But how does it exactly then, deal with diabetic beyond just being healthy in general?
If I can answer that question.
Go ahead, Alia.
Diabetes, we can't look at diabetes in a silo and in a vacuum, because diabetes is widely affected by your lifestyle, your food choices, and other factors such as your weight, your prevalence to other non-communicable diseases like your high cholesterol levels and hypertension is really impacted by your environment and your surrounding and the lifestyle that you choose. So that's why in this case, we need to come from an environmental approach in solving diabetes. Sure, we can talk about food, but food management alone is not enough. Sure, we can talk about lifestyle and like being physically active, but that is also not enough. So we need an all-encompassing solution, and that needs to come from a more positive corporate culture that promotes a balanced life for their employees. Does that answer your question, Faris?
Yes, it does somewhat. Yeah, thank you.
Somewhat.
Yeah, I guess the challenge is to make your workplace diabetes friendly or any
Correct.
Correct. Yeah, something that promotes living well and working well with diabetes to improve productivity.
I mean, ideally, we would like to get all companies to on board, but of course, the awareness, especially with SMEs, where cost is such a big factor for them, right? So, and they don't even have enough time to think about these things. So our challenge and our objective is to actually get more people on board, especially SMEs where they employ 90+% of the workforce. So that's our goal. It's really important.
Yeah,
and the other thing that is an issue, I guess, is actually recognizing what burden of your employees have,
Correct.
Which is something that's not clearly, owned up by or known actually by the employer in most.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. That's absolutely correct. Are there any other questions?
Not from me.
All right.
Thank you.
Nabiha, I think they don't have any question. Thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Team 3. Next one will be Team number 2.
Okay, good luck, Team 2. Bye-bye.
Thank you. I'm just going to share my screen.
Can I just test my mic? Am I all good?
I can't share my screen. Who's disabled participant screen sharing?
Wait, let me check on that. Can you try again? Next.
Okay, trying again. Nope, still the same error message. Not sure why.
Can someone else from the team attempt to share your screen? Oh. This is not our slides.
Yeah, the host already allowed participants to screen share.
Yeah, I'm trying again, but it's not working for me.
Okay. Zoe, do you think you can do it?
Yeah. Give me a moment. I'm trying to connect as well.
All right. Yeah, that works for me.
Okay, that's good.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. We are Team 2 and we are here to present DA Screen. Kuala Lumpur was announced as the second highest city with employees working 48 hours or more per week and was also found to be the fourth most overworked city in the world. That's not great news, as long working hours have been found to be associated with factors that contribute to diabetes, such as unhealthy lifestyle, work stress, sleep disturbances, and depressive symptoms. Therefore, we have chosen to focus on working adults in Kuala Lumpur as modern day occupations are becoming increasingly sedentary, which is a risk factor for diabetes. The demands of working life often hinder opportunities for health screening. Hence, we would like to propose a solution to ensure the working population gets the opportunity to be screened in spite of barriers placed before them. Our solution consists of 4 phases, namely advocacy, mobile testing, staying in touch, as well as monitoring and evaluation. Now let's go through each phase. Based on the National Health and Morbidity Survey, an estimated 3.9 million adults had diabetes as of last year. The survey also found that almost half of the people with diabetes had never been examined or diagnosed with the disease. It is extremely important to note that type 2 diabetes can be prevented or delayed. Therefore, the advocacy phase aims to support Malaysians through digital mediums such as social media platforms and offline marketing to increase awareness about type 2 diabetes. As type 2 diabetes is commonly misunderstood, this phase will focus on educating people on causes, risks, and symptoms of diabetes to help them make healthier life choices and to get tested for diabetes. As we aim to reach people across Malaysia, we would seek public-private partnerships to amplify our efforts to raise awareness. A particular partnership that we are interested in is with Perkeso. Since 2013, Perkeso has launched a free health screening program. However, in 2019 only, 21% of those eligible utilized the voucher. This means that a large proportion of funds for this purpose remains untouched. With our solution, we aim to bridge the gap between Perkeso and companies through the next phase. To bridge this gap in phase 2, we propose to bring diabetes testing to the workplace using mobile testing trucks. This is our version of a Milo truck, just one that saves lives. The mobile testing is extremely simple. It starts with the employee registering, followed by diabetes testing that will be administered by a professional. After 3 days, the result of the test will be emailed to the employee. In a pilot study with more than 150 working adults to validate our idea, the top 3 reasons as to why working adults do not get tested is because the thought of getting tested has never occurred to them. They do not think that they are in the age to get tested and lack the time to go for testing. The mobile testing truck reduces the restrictions mentioned above to get tested for diabetes, making it convenient and cost efficient. Not to mention, it allows for effective utilization of resources provided by Perkeso through engagement of public and private partnership with MOH and other private clinics to support diabetes testing. Moving on, after completing testing, a report will be conveyed via email. The results will be stratified into 3 categories, namely diabetes, pre-diabetes, and no diabetes. Based on the aforementioned categories, we will curate resource packs with specific guides for healthy lifestyle practices and follow-up plans for the patient. We will not only stay in touch with the employees, but also with the employers. Employers will receive aggregate results from phase 2 and individualized results will be provided with the employee's consent. The support provided also extends to consultation for employers, whereby we provide curated health initiatives or strategies to companies we test to improve health and well-being of their employees. We will also follow up with the company when it's due time for the next round of screening. Our next phase is a long-term plan to monitor and evaluate our strategy. The data collected will be used to support the narrative of evidence-based policy to identify new patterns and targeted interventions. All in all, DAScreen has both short-term and long-term strategies. We believe that DAScreen is critical to tackle the silent epidemic in Malaysia, especially after it has been scaled up to include other states across Malaysia and to include individuals from different age groups. Over time, we hope it can also be extended to cover other non-communicable diseases affecting our country. Let's bend the diabetes curve one workplace at a time. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now we're going to go for a Q&A session from the judges.
Thank you for your nice presentation. And I like the idea. And I must say it's not a new idea. These mobile screening efforts have actually been done reaching out to public. And there are some issues it's quite labor intensive. Would you realize how much time would need to be spent, and the number of people that need to be with the mobile team, and especially addressing different organizations and employers and employees. Some are very, very, very big companies. Would you like to comment on that?
Yes, sure. I'll take that question. We do understand that logistically, it definitely can be very challenging. However, in the past, especially in states like Negeri Sembilan, where mobile testing has been conducted, where they go door to door to speak to individuals and to get them tested, we think that this particular mobile testing is slightly different because we are actually engaging with the employers directly. As you mentioned, due to the labor intensive aspects of it and the cost involved, we hope to actually partner with the existing clinics that actually have a partnership under the health screening program by Perkeso. That's one proposal that we have. Another is to utilize services that are already on the go, such as Dr. Tuyu and so on and so forth. In terms of addressing organizations that are big, it definitely will be logistically challenging, but because it's testing for companies does not happen very regularly, we believe that it is definitely possible, but has to be very well planned in terms of the logistics. Would any other team member like to add on to that?
Yeah, I'll just jump on and add a little bit to that, in that we understand that it's quite logistically challenging, but we also hope to start small. We believe that small steps often lead to bigger movements. And so we would probably start with smaller municipalities or townships to see how that goes. And then over time, as we gain more confidence, we can scale up to bigger cities and other states as well.
Okay. Logistics aside, thank you, Dr. Zanaria. Oh, sorry, anyone else want to add something else to that? Great. So I was saying, thank you, Dr. Zanaria. Aside from logistical issues, so now that, assuming that you are able to get people to be screened, and now most employees probably know that they have diabetes, what's next? The screening is one thing. So perhaps if you're only focusing on advocacy, I can understand that. But any intention to move beyond that? Because you mentioned about targeted intervention earlier. What could that possibly be?
All right. So I'll start with going back to our phase 3, if that's possible for our sites to go back to phase 3. So after the screening, they will be provided the results, right, and a report. So the report will be provided to both the employee as well as the employer. And in the employee's report itself, there's a resource pack to guide them to practice healthy lifestyles based on the categories that they fall into. But in terms of the employer, where we talked about consultation, so for example, if at all there are, like just using the example that we talked about, the previous team talked about, in terms of the canteens. So we would, do assessments, understanding, look at it based on the reports that we get from the aggregate results, to consult them to maybe change behaviors, change the setting of the environment at work.
I would also
That answers the question.
add on to Renu, if possible. So regarding your question, we also saw that in the National Health and Morbidity Survey 2019 that a big factor of diabetes in Malaysia is that nearly half of the diabetics in Malaysia aren't even aware that they are diabetic, right? So with that line of thought, when we are diagnosing people with diabetes, of course we can't take like let's diagnose everyone and basically overload the health system that way. We will definitely need collaboration and partnership with the Ministry of Health and the relevant health infrastructure in place and take a staggered approach to it. As my friend Zoe mentioned, we're planning to start small and then scale it up.
Just to mention that the high undiagnosed rate is in fact in those younger individuals and those who are, of course, the working group. So rightfully so, coming and outreach to these people would be a good way, as you have shown in your effort. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, and we definitely do agree with that. Thank you for your questions.
Thank you so much, team number 2. It's good that you're aware of the existing initiative. Next one will be up, team number 1. Take it away.
Good morning, everybody. Now, Uncle Sam, a 60-year-old man of simple education background, is left to his devices, all alone at home. His wounds are not healing, and he sort of guesses of a possible condition that he has, but isn't entirely sure and is afraid of asking for help. How would you help him? What's stopping him from getting screened? Malaysian retirees with low education level who are not tested for diabetes mellitus, they are a target. After much scrutiny, we have come to realize that what's impeding them from going for screening is a general insufficiency in the dissemination of information. So this begs the question, what can be done to improve the general dissemination of information on diabetes mellitus? Now, after squeezing every ounce of our brain juices, we thought it would be helpful to ideate a plug-in feature to the My Sejahtera app, and we call it My Diabetes. My Diabetes, a plug-in to an already existing app, will be a diabetes mellitus-centric plugin whereby it would feature an interactive environment with quizzes, polls, reward system in place, diabetes screening appointment booking feature, and information on the prevention of developing the disease alongside disease management guidelines. What makes this special? Taking into account the reluctance of our target group to download a new app, we seek to harness the already existing platform, that is the My Sejahtera app, to reach the masses. Now, with government endorsement, users are more likely to trust the services and the information provided. The incorporation of multilingual features and videos takes into consideration of the low education background of our target group and the different ethnicities in our country. Now, our idea is also focused on optimizing the user experience and user interface to allow for a seamless transition from a primarily COVID case tracking app to a more all-encompassing health portal by the Ministry of Health. In the year 2019, 10.3% of our population were over the age of 60. This number is expected to rise to 15.3% by 2030. This increase in number will be accompanied by issues of population aging and its associated diseases like diabetes in this instance. And the prevalence of diabetes among retirees is 32.9%. Now, these are the numbers of those who have been screened. What about those who haven't been screened? Will we see an increase in numbers if we do screen them, or will we not see any numerical changes? Fragile and vulnerable, this group needs our help. Now, in the arena of information dissemination, we've definitely heard of WhatsApp health advisors, and it's fairly liked by our older people. Now, with that in mind, we believe that our idea would work because of the appeal of gaining information and sharing information easily, the credibility of the information provided, the ease of booking for screening appointments from the comforts of their home, and alongside the incorporation of the reward system would keep them hooked on the app. As you can see, there are other diabetic-centric apps out there, but none quite like us as we fulfill all of the requirements. Moving forward into a digitalized world, we believe moving public health in that direction is wise. We believe My Diabetes will destigmatize the disease and encourage our retirees to get themselves tested and get the help they need to improve the quality of their lives. The scalability of our idea taps into the existing mass gathered by MySejahtera. The practicality and implementability is seen by the harnessing of an existing app instead of creating a new one. And because the push for the usage of MySejahtera is already in place, the gradual transition of its usage to beyond just a COVID tracking app for other diseases like diabetes and others akin shows innovation and its possible effectiveness. Hence, we are proud to present our solution, My Diabetes at MySejahtera. Thank you.
Thank you. I love it. We take questions from the judges.
Thank you. That was very well, confidently presented. And I like the fact that you want to focus on a very vulnerable group, which are the elderly. I think the challenges in the elderly would actually be whether they're tech savvy enough to go in this direction. So the acceptability of this mode of reach to them. And then the other thing is, of course, literacy. I mean, we see a lot of diabetics out there in the health clinics, and that this is indeed a challenge. So what about language and what form of communication or how you're going to present it? In the elderly, it's a different sort of way to approach the messaging, the messages.
Thank you very much, Doctor, for that question. I think I'll pass this question to Zati.
So yeah, I agree. We completely have considered that. So one of it is that the app consists of multilingual. So we understand that the elderly are more likely to have or to be only eloquent in one language, usually is their mother tongue. That's one. Number two, it's also that we understand that some could be illiterate, meaning they can't read at all. So access through information can be done via videos, explanatory videos instead of words. So those are the things that we've considered into our app. Yeah, I hope that answers the question.
Yep, to some extent. Thank you.
Thank you.
No question for me.
That's great.
Thank you.
From all the observers and everyone in the room over here, you can also use the reaction button in your Zoom so that you can support the other teams as well. Thank you so much, team number 1. Next up will be team number 4.
Hi, I was disabled from sharing screen.
Sorry, can the other team members try to share screen as well?
Maybe Oscar, can you help me share screen?
Okay, can, no problem. Oh, Anya. Okay, share screen. I'm also been disabled. The host disabled the participant screen sharing.
Okay, 1 second. The other team members?
Margaret, are you there? Can you try share screen?
I face the same problem. I
Yeah.
couldn't share screen.
I think none of us can share because the host didn't enable us. Timekeeper, can you try to share the screen?
Okay, can you just put the link in the chat?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, sure.
Okay, while waiting for that, maybe Dr. Gan, you can introduce your team members first.
Okay. Hi, good morning. My name is Ricky. I'm from Team 4, Sugarcoat Task Force. So in our team, there are 6 of us: Oscar, Margaret, Kaichi, Jet, and Collins. Nice to meet you guys. I'm really apologize for the technical issue, but we hope that our presentation will leave you guys with a sweet notes.
Don't worry, man. Good luck.
Thank you, Shazan.
Okay, still waiting for team 4. Just put in the group chat so that I can screen share.
Okay.
Don't worry, it's all good.
Copy
It's
wrong link, sorry.
me and Dr. Zanaria time to, fill up our score sheet.
Okay.
That's great. Okay.
Exactly. This very tight schedule.
Okay. Let me know if this is the right one.
Right.
Yeah.
So the solution, would you be so kind to help us to make it into full screen?
Yeah,
Sure.
just scrolling down. Yeah, there's a slide there. So Ricky, you can on your screen also. So when you come to click next, just tell the timekeeper, so it will be better. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Is this good?
All right. That's so cool.
Okay.
So is the screen now available for everyone? Okay, thank you so much for your time and sorry for the interruption with the technical issue. Good morning, my name is Ricky. I'm from Sugarcoat Task Force, team number 4. Let me tell you a story about Cikgu Saleh. Cikgu Saleh is a 35-year-old teacher teaching in Putrajaya. He enjoys teaching evening walk with his family and he's aware about his healthy lifestyle. Teaching in school, family time in botanical gardens, and healthy meal with his family is his daily routine. However, everything changed when COVID-19 pandemic attacked. Now, he's...
Sorry for interrupt. Actually, the slide not moving.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, sorry. Okay, next slide, please. Next slide, please. Okay, everything changed when COVID-19 attacked. Next slide, please. So now his daily routine is teaching from home, staying at home, watching television, and order food through food delivery apps because he's too afraid to go out. Next slide, please. Right. Unfortunately, Cikgu Saleh wants to eat healthy, but healthy food choices are limited and unhealthy foods are so ever tempting. Look at those photos. Okay, next slide, please. Cikgu Saleh started to gain weight because of this. And after 9 months, recent checkup with his family doctors revealed that he might be pre-diabetic. Cikgu Saleh is not alone. Many in Malaysia are facing the similar problem. As you can see, obesogenic burden among urban dwellers contributing to diabetes in Malaysia is really high. 53.1% of the urban dwellers are having abdominal obesity, and 10.2 million people are actually having obese or overweight. Next slide, please. To make the matter worse, obese persons are found to be 80 times much more likely to develop diabetes as compared to normal BMI people. Next slide, please. So inadequate intakes of fruits and vegetables may lead to diabetes, and 90% of urban dwellers did not have that adequate intakes of fruits and vegetables. Next slide, please. So beyond and behold, our solution, which is primary prevention of diabetes through public-private partnership with food delivery apps. So we will go through this through three perspectives: customer, platform, and vendors. Next slide, please. So you can see if you are in the food delivery apps, you will be purchasing the food, and our features will be showing, okay, there will be a calorie count, state up the calorie count, and a label, healthy food label, which is My Healthy Plate compliance. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you that MOH has already have this program called as Suku Suku Separuh, Malaysia Healthy Plate, and they are working really hard to come with a My Choice program, which is to label the restaurant with Suku Suku Separuh compliance food. Suku, quarter carbohydrate, quarter proteins, and another half fruits and vegetables. So our solution is aligned with the MOH initiative, and it's further enhanced that because we are going into the platforms of food delivery apps. And also, we're providing incentive to customers by giving discount and voucher. See, the customer now purchased 12 ringgit 50 cents, and because he purchased some food that is having Suku Suku Separuh compliance label, he'll get 20% discount. Next slide, please. And feature number 2 is that not only it shows the calorie content of the food, it also records the calorie content of the food so that the consumer can learn about the calories, healthy diet, and physical activities, how much physical activity they have to do to burn the calories they ate. And they can learn about the diabetes information if they want. Next slide, please. So why would platforms such as food delivery apps buy in? Because this is an incentive-based and it's a voluntary program. It targets new customer demographic of people who want to be health conscious. It retains the user within the application by giving them more healthy food choice, tax breaks for those who are selling My Healthy Plate compliance food, and it goes aligned with the Sustainable Development Goal number 3, which is good health and well-being. Next slide, please. And we did a market survey of the 56 participants. It shows that 85.7% of the people would buy this using these apps if it has the calorie counters feature. Next slide, please. And what about small, medium, and large vendors? All vendors can enjoy tax break for selling food compliance. Look at the handphone icon. So the customer has already bought, the food has the Suku Suku Separuh compliance label. Now they enjoy 5% of tax break. So in turn, they were able to provide much more cheaper food, cheaper healthy food, and the customer will buy more. It encouraged the customer to buy more. So it's sustainable and scalable business model, and it opened channels for future public health campaigns such as World Diabetes Day, Low GI Food, World Heart Day, low sodium food. Next slide, please. And future possibilities are endless. Fitness apps such as BookDoc, they can use the step counters to earn vouchers. They can collaborate with e-wallets to give a gift card to buy your friends a healthy meal plate. And virtual seminars and events just like this, what we are having now. Next slide, please. So I'm very lucky to have a conversation with Datuk Nur Hayati. She believed that the idea has the potential to target not only diabetes, but other NCDs, especially during COVID. And Puan Suraya also believed that the idea of collaborating with other fitness apps to earn vouchers and discount has great potential. So ladies and gentlemen, diabetes doesn't discriminate. I would like to call upon everyone to join this initiative to stop diabetes before it starts. Thank you very much. Next slide.
Thank you so much. We'll take questions from Dr. Zanaria or Matt.
Okay, thank you. That's a good direction. I think augmenting knowledge about nutrition hand in hand with the choices we make is very timely. Something that we can do when someone makes a choice, immediately giving them information about whether that choice is a good choice. And after a while, I reckon people find out what are better choices. So yes, this is a good direction, and I like it. And actually incorporating that into the existing apps would be good. That's a general comment from me.
Thank you, Dr. Zanaria.
Hey, the idea, though I can't imagine MOF agreeing to a tax break such as this. But beyond that, I think it's innovative. I just wanted to ask you generally, in terms of the idea, I think it favors the customers quite a bit. You know, you using the app, you got 20% discount, and also I think to some extent you tried to show that it will also be enough if the, I don't know, food delivery app or the food provider, I'm not sure, getting the 5% tax breaks. But if you look at 20% discounts for the food is quite a bit. But I don't want to be, you know, too picky here, but I can imagine that it's going to be a problem. But beyond that, my actual question is, how do you get the buy-in from the food delivery app actually? I mean, 20% discount is a lot, but even if you to reduce it to 10%, that's going to affect them quite a bit, because looking at how things are, they already taking some amount of money from the food itself, and on top of that, in order to cover the fee of the driver. So what's a good figure really, and how do you really get them on board beyond this noble idea?
Okay, Dr. Ahmad, I think your question is very business model. So the 20% is just an example. So it served as an initiative, such as the e-wallets. Just recently, the government gave like 30 ringgits and then 50 ringgits of e-wallet to encourage people to go into buying food on through the e-wallets, and also to download MySejahtera. So same concept here. We are using the discount as an initial attraction to attract the people to come in to join this. And when you're talking about the tax break, so believe that this platform, the platform of the food delivery apps, has to pay tax, as well as the vendors who prepare the food and sell the food. They have to prepare, pay tax as well. So the tax breaks models are targeting to both the platform and the vendors who, when the customers are doing the purchase on healthy food. So with that, it will reduce the cost and will encourage the people to buy more.
So I'm Oscar from Team 4. So I would like to, on top of that, to add on something. So instead of just the tax break, actually what government can do is like they be one of the channel to, you know, because they partner with the platform itself, so they can actually be the marketing, you know, tools for them as well. So this is like how, you know, when government try to push e-wallets, so they, you know, they give incentive. This is one of the way. And we talk about when platform economy is always user-based centric. So I see that platform can actually gain benefit instead of just tax break. They can also scale up their business as well. So it's a win-win situation for both parties.
Okay, thank you so much, team number 4. Next will be team number 7, the last one for today. Thank you.
Yeah, that'll be me. All right. I'm going to share my screen and then Izzati will present.
Awesome.
Okay, give me a second. Can everyone see it?
Yes.
All right. Okay, cool. Okay, are we ready? Is it good, Honey? Yep. Okay, great. So hi, I'm Izzati, and I present to you Health Architect, a bundle of evidence-based solutions towards creating a healthy university food environment. So why target university students in diabetes prevention? So research has shown that this transformative period is marked by factors that influence health behavior that persists into later life. For most, leaving home is the first time where we get the autonomy to make all of our food decisions. Though some do well at healthy eating, this is not the case for most. In fact, overweight prevalence in Malaysia jumps from 13% in 5 to 17-year-olds to 22% between 20 to 24-year-olds. Despite this disease risk, Malaysia only has one dietary policy specific to this group, which focuses on health education. Though this is a great initiative, there is a gap where health literacy of Malaysians is quite high, but it does not translate to behavior change. So education in of itself doesn't work. So that's where health architects come in. We zoom out from the individual to seek to address the socio-ecological environment that influences diet behavior. Through student co-creation and evidence-based behavioral economic solutions, we empower individuals to make healthy choices by creating a unique food environment that nudges them to do so. So architecting health in universities is a three-pronged solution. We reposition food, mandate nutrition labeling, and provide H2O on the go. So food repositioning essentially means placing healthier food options closer to the consumer. In most kedai nasi campur, you get your rice, choose your lauk, then by the time you get to the veggies, your plate is already full. So under food repositioning, food vendors would place the veggies first, and this in essence applies to snacks too. Though deceptively simple, this method has consistently been proven to increase intake of healthy food options in numerous studies across the world. In fact, for years, major supermarkets have used this strategy in their product placements to make us unconsciously spend more. So next, we have nutritional labeling. Here, we focus on caloric labeling for cooked food. Oftentimes, students don't know the caloric content of what they're putting on their plate. So by providing labeling, students are able to make informed decisions on their diet. This method has been proven to increase awareness on healthy food choices and reduce calories purchased. We focus on calories here because with something like this, too much information can be overwhelming. Also, a mere 185 kilocalories surplus per day over a year can lead to a 3 kg increase in weight gain. And 185 calories is just 2 curry puffs. Finally, we have H2O on the go, where unis will install water refilling stations across campus. Water, just plain old water, is a healthy and cheap product that has been proven to lower type 2 diabetes risk. But oftentimes, university students face difficulties in obtaining this resource. Water refilling stations are too few and they can be kind of gross when not maintained. So often, students have to boil water or buy drinks. And economic studies have shown that people tend to evaluate sugary drinks more than water. Think about it. If you're thirsty and forced to spend, do you think it's more worth it to spend your 2 ringgit buying plain water or Milo or juice? I don't know about you, but I would often go for the juice. So by having easy access to water, we can encourage students to drink water and reduce consumption of sugary drinks. You might be wondering, oh, it's going to be expensive. But based on estimates, implementing this would only cost 3 ringgit per student per year. In comparison, diabetes treatment costs up to 1,000 ringgit and then some. We're more than happy to go into the numbers and our implementation strategies in the Q&A. So all this sounds great, right? But how does it scale? So we start by implementing this at a couple of public universities. From this, we conduct a cohort study to assess the efficacy of architecting health by collecting longitudinal data through mixed methods. So evaluation is central to our framework. Though all of our proposed solutions have been shown to be effective, we need to understand how it would do within the Malaysian context and how to improve it. So building off this data, we can look toward digital integration and further expansion to other universities and public institutions. So our health architect solution is not a shiny tech. It's deceptively simple, but proven to be effective. We believe that in essence, innovation is the ability to flip a problem to find different solutions that might not have been considered before. If the way we've been seeing diabetes prevention has always been individual-centric, be it through education campaigns or health apps that puts the onus of responsibility on the individual, then perhaps we should think about it differently. Let's innovate. Think beyond the individual and think about the structural obesogenic environment they're in, that we are in. How do we modify this environment to make healthy decisions easier? And that is exactly what we at Health Architect hope to achieve. We aim to nudge healthy choices, empower decision-making, one food environment at a time. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Izzati. That's very thoughtful details. Questions?
Thank you. I really enjoyed that presentation. And it's nice to know the focus to start early in the university, which is rightfully very, very apt and necessary. So I applaud the direction of your efforts, I'm just still thinking about it. Okay, maybe Matt can have some comments and questions.
I don't have any questions really. I get the idea. But perhaps you can tell us a bit more, maybe in terms of the innovativeness of this. Definitely different than the past 4 presentation. It's not very technological centric to some extent. So where does that come in really?
Okay, more than happy. If you can scroll down, honey, you go to the slide on sociological model. Thank you. So we have a lot more detail on our website. Please feel free to go through it. So the innovation here is this, truly. I think the way Malaysia has traditionally been looking at diabetes prevention is education, and that is very centered on the individual. It's responsibility to change their habit, to change their behavior, and stuff like that. But what we're promoting in this form of innovation is to look at the wider environment and how education when supplemented by changes in the environment, can nudge people to make it easier for them to make healthy decisions. Like simple things, like we said, repositioning food. It's deceptively simple, right? Just have your sayo first before your lao. But it has been proven in research time and time again that this simple act can increase the intake of healthier food options. So that's where the innovation comes in. It's like thinking about the diabetes prevention on a different perspective. Move away from the person into the larger environment that the person is situated in, looking at interpersonal factors, environment, and policy.
Yeah, adding on to that, like innovations in our team doesn't mean that it has to be a new things that never existed before. So it also comes in the form of like adopting things that has proven in other contexts and be repackaged and applied in a new context. So in this case, we are doing a case study and seeing that some of these initiatives, especially the principles behind these initiatives, has been working in other environments, and then now we are importing into solving this diabetic prevalence problem. Yeah. And hence we have little question about the implementability because it has shown to be effective. Yeah. Right now we have to apply it in the context of diabetic prevalence. Yeah.
Okay, is there any more questions? If no, then thank you so much, Team 7. I'm very impressed with all of you because you have come up with innovative solution in short amount of time. We are running out of time. Okay. How's everyone feeling? The observers, everyone in the room over here. You can give comments, put in the chat, or you can give reaction for all this group. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's great. It's super great to see everyone coming together for a shared cause like this. I believe like we will not work individually. We'll give some time to collaborate after this, and also give some time for the judges to count the results. Okay, while waiting for the other breakout room to complete, any one of you wants to share how's your experience listening to all this presentation? You can just unmute and share. I see from here, Doreen said very energetic presentation. Well done, everyone. Such a good experience.
It was it's different, Nabiha. I think you can't really see the body language, right? So, and I'm quite energetic. So you can't see. It's a bit like it can be a bit. It doesn't show the full picture, lah. But what to do, right? But it's quite fun actually to be able to do this. And I was telling my colleagues, my friends, I was like, I don't know why we do this ourselves. We're working people. We want to do more stuff. It's not like we have not much stuff on our plates, right? So, but it was an interesting experience, honestly. Like I stumbled upon a post by someone, and I was like, hey, interesting. So I just joined. So it was that's how our team joined actually.
Yeah, I know. You drag everybody in your team to join.
Yes. I was like, hey dude, like there's this diabetes hackathon that come, like let's join. And then they were like, oh, what is it? And then they were like, I don't know, or whatever. And I said like, then I pushed them. I said, come on, we know done anything like this before, right? And then I guilt them to joining.
Awesome.
Sorry.
I give a shout out to, sorry, Nabiha. Can I just give a shout out to all the mentors, especially Dr. Aruna, because she's around, and the judges as well. for us to do something related to diabetes and presenting it to someone as esteemed as Dr. Zanaria. I think that's an honor for us, really.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you so much, mentors, for your guidance, your time. I know some of this group are working hard late night. I even know like one of my participants didn't sleep last night or last 2 nights. Yeah, they're working really hard. And then I believe like as we collaborate, come together and normalize conversation in combating diabetes, we work together.
Well, I would just like to say I thoroughly enjoyed and valued this experience, and I'm also so inspired that you all out there are thinking about the problem and helping us. So this is what is really necessary, for young people outside to think about the problem in your perspective, looking at the community, and then offering us that solution to consider, working hand in hand, to have a more acceptable, applicable, implementable solution. So really, I'm so grateful to all of you for your, commitment and your input and your work. It's so good to see. I think this should be the start of better things to come. Thank you.
Exactly. Okay, anyone else wants to share?
Would it be possible for me to share a little bit as well?
Yeah, sure.
I would like to say that it was really interesting over the 2 weeks how we continuously learned a lot about diabetes, because I think we were one of the 2 teams without doctors. So we were initially extremely intimidated by that, but I think we've learned quite a fair bit over the last few weeks. And I would like to actually share that our team has even conveyed during some of our brainstorming sessions that we're committed to working towards solving this problem even beyond this hackathon, and it's something that we want to work towards. And I feel that I think at the end of the day, that's something really good to know, that I think my team and many others out here are committed to contributing to this cause beyond this hackathon as well. So I guess that's a brilliant impact that this hackathon has brought to us.
Amazing. Okay, now it's also for you, the time for you to vote for your favorite solution. Let's go to the link which we put in the group chat. Okay, vote for your favorite ones among the themes that you have watched and listened in this room. Okay, let's take a few minutes to vote.
Hi, Nabiha. Just one question. Participants are allowed to vote?
This is for you to share it out to your observers. So any of your friends are
right? I just go and click here and there. All right. Yeah. Because I paid for the the first level that you need to pay, not the free one. But I didn't know that we can have a breakout room. All right. But the number of people that's limited 100, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
How many breakout rooms?
So far we've done as many as 15, still no problem.
Oh, you can do 15 breakout rooms, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So far,
all right.
yeah.
Okay. Roshini was supposed to find out this information for me.
I sent the information that I promised.
No, that's okay. If it is in the normal one, then I'll go and try. Okay. We are back in the main room. Okay. Lauren is back in the main room. Okay. I can't see her though. Let me see whether I can see her. No, I can't see her either. So Daniel, are we starting?
Yes, so we're consolidating the score right now.
Okay, I'm getting fidgety already.
That was an incredible experience. They're so energetic,
Young people are always energetic.
Good. Yeah, I wish we had done this kind of thing from much earlier on.
No, I
Work
wish
with them. Yeah.
no, I wish it could have lasted longer.
Yeah.
Now it's all gone.
Yeah, I engage with them. I think that's the way to go forward. So for our
Okay, good.
perspective. Yeah.
Okay, good. So T5, T10, they are all the groups. Oh, now I get it. T5, T10 are into the final round. That's why they're here with us.
Everyone will be in the main room first before we announce the finalists.
Oh,
No, not yet. So this may not be the finalists. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, Daniel, we are running short of time. We better hurry up.
Yes, we are trying our best.
This is so exciting. I don't want to miss it.
All right, everyone. I just wanted to just quickly check in and say thank you and congratulations on your first round of presentations. I unfortunately couldn't see it, but from what I've heard from my peers from all over, that it went very well. And I think as some of our judges have stated here as well, that it was actually very, very impressive. And I'm really appreciating your energy as well. So what's going to be happening next is that we are just going to wait for the judges' deliberation from the first round. When the judges are ready, they will be sharing who are the top 2 from each group that will be proceeding to our finale round, which of course will be presided over and by our chief judge who is here, Dr. Chong Chi Kyong, who is, as you know, the Deputy Director General from the Ministry of Health Malaysia. But first, we just got to be a bit patient. Thank you for your patience. When the judges are ready, we'll announce it ASAP, I promise. Hello, just dropping in quickly because I have been buzzed to remind you. David messaged me saying voting. Don't forget to remind your friends to be voting because he will be closing the voting form soon. So you still have a bit of time apparently. This is the latest news that I've been receiving from the press. So you still have a little bit of time. This is like your final push through to the 5K. So all the best. Oh, he said closing, the form will be closing in exactly 2 minutes. Let's see how much can be done in 2 minutes. Countdown continues. 1 minute left till David closes the form. All right, so David has informed me that the form is closing. I know you are very, very anxious on what's happening. From my end, what I can see is that our judges have just submitted all their scores, and right now our human calculators, they are calculating away. So we should be getting it in the next few minutes. Fingers crossed and all the best. But for now, I mean, not all the best. You kind of already done the legwork. Now it's just a matter of anxiously waiting. So good luck.
And the score is in. Okay, so we have finalized everything. So here, the score I would like to remind everybody is on top of the judges score, you have your exhibition, site evaluation, you have the popular votes in, and also the site analytics, and also the user responses in your Google form. So overall, I would like to announce who are the team that are going to be in the finals to be presenting to our panel of judges. All right, so is everyone ready to hear? Okay, so the finalists that will proceed is Team 7, Team 1, Team 8, and Team 10. Okay, congratulations. Okay, so you will be presenting in that particular order, all right? Team 7, 1, 8, 10. Okay, Roshini, back to you. There's someone special that you'd like to introduce?
Yes. Sorry, give me a moment here. Technical issues over here. Where am I? All right. I think everyone can hear me. Hello and congratulations to our finalists who are now in the running to the grand prize of 5,000 ringgit. First runner-up will be awarded with 3,000 ringgit and our second runner-up will be awarded with 2,000 ringgit. So before we head on to our finale judging session, I just wanted to quickly introduce our chief judge to all of you today officially. You can see him here. Here we have with us Dato Dr. Chong Chi Kyong, who is the Deputy Director General of Health from the Ministry of Health, Malaysia. If you remember, if you've seen such a familiar face, he is of course one of our speakers who was part of our officiation ceremony on our second day of the hackathon. So what's going to be happening next is our final 5 teams will be presenting once again, but this time with our Chief Judge, Dr. Chong included as well. The same will still apply, timekeeping and whatnot. I hope that is quite clear. Yes, all good?
5 teams or 4 teams, Rosini?
Sorry?
5 teams or 4 teams?
5 teams. Yes.
4 teams.
Oh, sorry, my number is very bad today. My apologies. 4 teams.
Okay, all right. Thanks.
My apologies. Yes, we have 4 teams who will be in the running for the final 3 spots.
Sure.
I hope the 4 teams are okay.
Okay, good luck, guys.
All right. I'll pass it right over. All the best.
Okay, Team 7, please begin with the timekeeper, which is timekeeper 1. So please pin timekeeper 1 video.
Yep, okay. I'll be speaking. I'm looking for a timekeeper 1 right now. Okay.
Okay, I'm going to start sharing my screen.
Yep. Have you shared, honey? Good.
Wait. Yeah. Okay, sharing now.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, honey. Give me a second before I begin. Just set my computer in order. Okay, are you ready to go, honey? And my teammates?
Yep.
Okay, let's go. So hi, I'm Izati, and I present to you Health Architect, a bundle of evidence-based solutions towards creating a healthy university food environment. So why target university students in diabetes prevention? Research has shown that this transformative period is marked by factors that influence health behavior that persist into later life. For most, leaving home is the first time where we get the autonomy to make all of our food decisions. Though some do well at healthy eating, this is not the case for most. In fact, overweight prevalence in Malaysia jumps from 13% in 5 to 17-year-olds to 22% between 20 to 24-year-olds. Despite this disease risk, Malaysia only has one dietary policy specific to this group, which focuses on health education. Though this is a great initiative, there is a gap where health literacy of Malaysians is high, but it does not translate to behavior change. So education in of itself doesn't work. So that's where we, health architects, come in. We zoom out from the individual and seek to address the socio-ecological environment that influences diet behavior. Through student co-creation and evidence-based behavioral economic solutions, we empower individuals to make healthy choices by creating a university food environment that nudges them to do so. So architecting health in universities is a three-pronged solution. We reposition food, mandate nutritional labeling, and provide H2O on the go. So food repositioning essentially means placing healthier food options closer to the consumers. In most kedai nasi campur, you get your rice, you choose your lauk, then by the time you get to the veggies, your plate is already full. So under food repositioning, food vendors would place the veggies first, and this in essence applies to snacks too. Though deceptively simple, this method has consistently been proven to increase intake of healthier food options in numerous studies across the world. In fact, for years, major supermarkets have used this strategy in their product placement to make us unconsciously spend more. So next, we have nutritional labeling. Here, we focus on caloric labeling for cooked food. Oftentimes, you don't know the caloric content of what you're putting on your plate. So by providing labeling, students are able to make informed decisions on their diet. This method has been shown to improve awareness on healthy food choices and reduce calories purchased. We focus on calories because with something like this, too much information can be overwhelming. Also, a mere 185 kilocalories surplus per day over a year can lead a 3 kg weight gain. And 185 kilocalories is just 2 curry puffs, guys. And finally, we have H2O on the go, where universities would install water refilling stations across campus. Water, just plain old water, is a healthy and cheap product that has been proven to lower type 2 diabetes risk. But oftentimes, university students face difficulties in obtaining this resource. Water refilling stations are too few, and it can be kind of gross when not maintained. So often, students have to boil water or buy drinks. And economic studies have shown that people tend to evaluate sugary drinks as more worth it than water. Think about it. If you're thirsty and forced to spend, do you think it's more worth it to spend 2 ringgit buying plain old water or Milo or juice, right? So by having easy access to water, we can encourage students to drink water and reduce consumption of sugary drinks. You might be wondering, it's going to be expensive. But based on our estimates, implementing this would only cost 3 ringgit per student per year. In comparison, diabetes treatment costs up to 1,000 ringgit and then some. Happy to go into the numbers and our implementation strategies in the Q&A. So all this sounds great, but how does it scale? We start by implementing this at a couple of public universities. From this, we conduct a cohort study to assess the efficacy of architecting health by collecting longitudinal data through mixed methods. Evaluation is central to our framework. Though all of our proposed solutions have been shown to be effective, we need to understand how it would do within the Malaysian context and how to improve it. Building off this data, we can look toward digital integration and further expansion to other universities and public institutions. So our health architect solution is not a shiny tech. It's deceptively simple, but proven to be effective. We believe that in essence, innovation is the ability to flip a problem to find different solutions that might not have been considered before. If the way we've been seeing diabetes prevention has always been individual-centric, be it through education campaigns or health apps that puts the onus of responsibility on the individual, then perhaps we should think about it differently. Let's innovate. Think beyond the individual and think about the structural obesogenic environment that they are in, that we are all in. How do we modify this environment to make healthy decisions easier? And that is exactly what we at Health Architect hope to achieve. We aim to nudge healthy choice, empower decision-making, one food environment at a time. Thank you.
Daniel, are we, the judges, supposed to comment, or you're going to make some comments first?
No, judges have full 5 minutes.
Oh, I see. I'm sorry, of course, being the chief judge, I haven't had the opportunity to meet the rest of the judges. Maybe the rest of the judges, you can just go ahead if there anything that you'd like to comment.
Well, I'll go then. Hello, Dr. Chong.
Hey.
You here.
Hi.
Izati, good to see you too. So great stuff. This idea of choice architecture, behavioral psychology, behavioral economics, and nudges are great. And I would like you to walk us through you and your group's thought processes about the uses of paternalism in decision-making in healthcare. Over.
Thank you so much for that very thoughtful question. I think the way public health works, paternalism is a spectrum, right? You have full-on sort of like very prescriptive paternalism, but in our sort of solutions, as you can see, it's like nudging behaviors, right? We're not forcing anyone to take vegetables, a lot of vegetables over your lao, but by strategically placing, for example, vegetables prior to protein, then just by psychology, you would take more of the vegetables than the protein. Same with having water options, same with having nutritional labeling. This a paternalistic a spectrum, but we believe that our solution falls on the side where it's like nudging behaviors to enable people to make healthy decisions easier based on the knowledge that they already have. I hope that answers your question.
If I may add into that, often we as the healthcare professionals don't put ourselves in the shoes of the patients. We think and we set what's the best for them based on the evidence. Now, in our policy, we emphasize on co-creation in the level of policy ideation up until policy implementation to ensure that all the students and our target groups are a part of our solution as well.
Thanks. Maybe I'll ask a follow-up. The co-creation element, I think, is great because it gets people to be invested in it as well. There could be a slight disconnect, though. Two small disconnects. Firstly, it's not really represented in your presentation, but that's fine. Secondly, if you wanted to co-create, how do they co-create a paternalistic environment for them? Allow me to use the word paternalist for now.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think one, if they understand the logic behind what we're doing. So for example, we can ask for their opinions, right? What are your thoughts on the kinds of foods that are available in your university? Do you think we should have more healthy snacks? Do you think we should have more water stations? And oftentimes, and it's evident, there's a lot of like manifestos with the student councils, they would say, yes, more healthy foods, yes, more water. So this does not clash at all with what we're having. By co-creation, we just pull them into the conversation so they better understand. And as well, I think it flips your perspective as well, right? So when having them understand that this is what we're doing and we're having them in our conversation as well, it's no longer paternalistic to an extent because they're part of it. They know what's happening.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Swee King. So I would like to ask one question, but in the interest of time, I will give way to the other judges if there are anything that they would like to ask. Just one more question from anybody. The other judges? Okay, if not, I just like to quickly ask one question. Here, I understand exactly what you're trying to do and a fantastic idea as well as a fantastic delivery. Now, probably, if you have given more time, we were to talk about the total kind of foods in the cafeteria. So I'll give you maybe like 30 seconds or 45 seconds. Do you see control on the total kind of foods in the cafeteria in the universities, since we are talking about universities? Before we talk about repositioning, that is.
Any of my team members want to answer?
Sorry, would you like to clarify what you mean by total kind of food?
Okay, so now we are talking about repositioning, which I totally understand, right? You want to put the green food out and the not so green food inside, fine. But with respect to this, we also like to talk about, for instance, would you allow to sell sweetened drinks in the universities in the first place, for example, or we just insist on drinks that are low calorie? What we call this, we have certain labels, right? Certain labels for food, healthy diet labels. So overall, just 30 seconds before we run short of time. any comments on the total food that you would allow in the universities before we talk about repositioning the foods in the university? It's just to prick your brain a bit.
Yeah, so how we see this is an incremental approach, right? So vendors come in, they
Oh no, Li Hong is stuck.
at the first place we cannot sorry, yeah.
20 seconds.
Yeah,
we,
go on, Li Hong.
we cannot restrict the choice of food being sold, but with our choice architecture, we guide behaviors, we guide the demand. So eventually, the vendors will be incentivized to provide only healthier alternatives, and that is the ultimate goal.
Okay. So I just pick one line from what you said, which is we should not be controlling the type of food that will be sold in the university. Am I correct?
Eventually we will, but not immediately. Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thanks for your thoughts. Okay. Maybe we can go to the next one. Daniel, I'll pass it back to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Team 7. Here is a breaking news for everyone. It seems that as we were rushing to find the top 2 from each breakout room, one of the breakout rooms seemed to have a tie for second place. So the organizers have been discussing over this to see if, and we have agreed that the tie would be allowed to enter these finals. So instead of 4 teams, there will be 5 teams over here. And the team that is tied and deserve to also be in the finals is team number 9. All right, so the sequence here will be team 7, team 1, team 8, team 10, and team 9.
No problems. Please carry on.
Okay, so the next team, team 1.
Good morning, everybody. Uncle Sam, a 60-year-old man of a simple education background, is left to his devices all alone at home. His wounds are not healing, and he sort of guesses a possible condition that he has, but isn't entirely sure and is afraid of asking for help. How would you help him? What's stopping him from getting himself screened? Malaysian retirees with low education level who are not tested for diabetes mellitus, they are our target. After much scrutiny, we've come to realize that what's impeding them from going for screening is a general insufficiency in the dissemination of information. So this begs the question, what can be done to improve the general dissemination of information on diabetes mellitus? Now, after squeezing every ounce of our brain juices, we thought it'd be helpful to ideate a plug-in feature to the My Sejahtera app, and we call it My Diabetes. My Diabetes, a plugin to an already existing app, will be diabetes mellitus centric, whereby it would feature an interactive environment with quizzes, polls, reward system in place, diabetes screening appointment booking feature, information on the prevention of developing the disease, alongside guidelines on the management of the disease. Now, what makes this special? Taking into account the reluctance of our target group to download a new app, we seek to harness the already existing platform, that is the My Sejahtera app, to reach the masses. Now, with government endorsement, users are more likely to trust the services and the information provided. The incorporation of multilingual features and videos takes into consideration of the low education background of our users and the different ethnicities that are in our country. Now, our idea is also focused on optimizing the user experience and user interface to allow for a seamless transition from a primarily COVID case tracking app to a more all-encompassing health portal by the Ministry of Health. In the year 2019, 10.3% of our population were over the age of 60, and this number is expected to rise to 15.3% by 2030. The increase in number will be accompanied by issues of population aging and its associated diseases like diabetes. And the prevalence of diabetes is at 32.9% among retirees. Now, these are just numbers who have been screened. What about those who haven't been screened? Will we see an increase in numbers if we do screen the rest? Or will we not see any numerical changes? There's one thing we have to remember. These groups, they are fragile and vulnerable, and they need our help. Now, in the arena of information dissemination, we've definitely heard of WhatsApp health advices, and it's fairly liked by our older people. With that in mind, we believe that our idea would work because of the appeal of gaining information and sharing information easily, the credibility of information provided, the ease for booking, screening appointments from the comforts of their home. And alongside, we want to incorporate a reward system which would keep them hooked on the app, like discount vouchers and others alike. Now, there are other diabetes-centric apps out there, but none like us that fulfills these components that you see. Moving forward into a digitalized world, we believe moving public health in that direction is wise. We believe My Diabetes will destigmatize the disease and encourage our retirees to get themselves tested and get the help they need to improve the quality of their lives. The scalability of our idea taps into the existing mass gathered by MySejahtera. The practicality and implementability is seen by the harnessing of an existing app instead of creating a new one. Because of the push for the usage of MySejahtera is already in place, the gradual transition of its usage from just a COVID tracking app to something more, which incorporates other diseases, shows innovation and its possible effectiveness. Hence, we are proud to present our solution, My Diabetes at MySejahtera. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. Again, to all the judges, any comments? Okay. Maybe. Sorry. Yes. Yeah, hi.
Hi. How are you? So, question is in terms of the people's perception. Could there be a risk of relating diabetes and everything all the positive construction we want to be forward with COVID, which is a bit of an unfortunate context?
Thank you very much for the question. Zati, do you want to take the question?
Yeah, sure. Marine, can I understand a bit more? The internet was a bit choppy, so you were cut off a bit from. Could you help me clarify?
So you referred to the use of MySejahtera around the in the COVID context, and is there a risk that in people's mind there is a relationship with a threat or a danger or something that they haven't necessarily been happy or comfortable with when we want to really build a positive and constructive relationship with diabetes?
Certainly. Yeah. I think I get what you're getting at. I understand that Primary is a COVID app, and that it could be an association between a diabetes and a COVID if we were to integrate the platform. However, I think it is a restrictive thinking to say that, all right, diabetes is diabetes alone, COVID is COVID alone. Our approach is we want to convert the app seamlessly into a health portal rather than just individual siloed solution. Perception wise, I wouldn't know if I must be honest. That has to be viewed holistically. If I were to speculate, it could be, but it's not too far off. Not wrong to see it in that way, because there is a high association between COVID and diabetes that present a very high risk. So I hope that answers a bit of the question.
It definitely does. It's probably more about how to position it more as a proactive solution towards it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Maureen.
Thank you, Maureen. So just one more questions for the judges. If there's nothing, I would like to ask something, but please, I'll give way to the other judges as well.
Okay. Maria, I yield to you.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. So just one question, because I didn't catch the problem. The retirees are at risk of diabetes. That was the title. Fair enough. When you say retirees, you're actually focusing on those who are 50 and above. Some people retire a bit earlier. Some people retire a bit later. Are retirees really at risk of getting diabetes compared to the non-retirees?
it's not so much whether they are at risk or not. It's more towards tackling the, if dare I say, ignorance towards the disease, or how do we get credible information and understanding towards the disease. That we're trying to approach it. The solution, yeah.
Yeah, thanks. Because I just read your title and make some assumptions that there is a problem area there. Okay, I think thank you very much, group. Let me see. This is group 1. Thank you very much, group 1. Well done.
Thank you.
And, I'll pass it back to our facilitator, Mr. Daniel.
Thank you, team 1. Coming up is team number 8.
Hello. Okay. Let me just wait a second. Okay. I'm good. So hey guys, we're Kinabalu Crackers. Our target demographic is Kaja, an untested working group in Putrajaya who has a lot of choices of restaurants when she wants to eat. Here in Kinabalu Crackers, we're changing the food environment to improve awareness and change behavior of consumers to be more aware of their food choices, but at the same time, change behavior of companies to be more accommodating towards being more sensitive towards diabetes and healthy lifestyles in their premises. So in status quo, there is a local aphorism in Malaysia that Malaysia has some of the best policies in the world with regards to wanting to tackle diabetes or having a healthy lifestyle. But our problem lies in the implementation, and that's where we come in and hack the problem for you. And when it comes to the diet and health of Malaysians, we can see that the problem is steadily ballooning up in front of our eyes. And while there are many statistics to back this up, the simple fact that we hold the title of Asia's fattest nation, and that should be telling enough. So our team changed behavior of companies as well as consumer, killing 2 birds in 1 stone. So what is our solution? So we introduced to you the T2D award grading system. Our implementation process is unique as pre-existing policies does not work because the framework happened in a vacuum and on an opt-in basis. We hacked a formula where it's indeed possible to shift consumers and businesses' behavior. What sets us apart from other new initiatives is that our food grading system operates on a combination of different initiatives and existing framework while still being consistent with legal framework. We label it as an award, however, even though we label it as an award, however, it's a prerequisite step or processes for businesses before operating. Realize that all of our existing framework refuse to encourage businesses, and that's where we come in. So on the implementation processes, like on the business side, we're not punishing businesses for selling unhealthy food, as evidently seen in our framework of implementation. They can sell whatever they want. The grading system is incorporated as part of the prerequisite before setting up their businesses. This is to say, we're not punishing them for the product that they're selling, which is a problem in status quo in other initiatives because we're forcing businesses to change the identity, maybe their packaging, maybe what they want to sell. However, we encourage them by having a grading system on your premises. That is to say, at the point where society view and attach a grade D to McDonald's, it is much more easier or likely for them to shift their mindset to choose a better premise for them to sell their food. And the way we change their behavior is through societal pressure to engineer them to be more innovative in their menus. So so that's how we shift the consumer's behavior. So the grading system, at the point where businesses are consistently, graded A when it comes to innovating their menu to be more adaptable to health conscious and diabetic patients, we will give them a grade S. And the way we assess it is through the Ministry of Health through the National Coordination Committee for Food and Nutrition. The reason why we say it is likely to be implemented because there is already an existing terms of reference where it already falls within their job scope regardless. And I've already explained this earlier on. So what's next for our framework? Because whilst it is happening in Putrajaya, and the reason why we chose it in Putrajaya is because we want to choose that place as a pilot project or pilot place, because the Ministry of Health is there. It's easier for data collection. But we think it is as simple as wanting to implement it tomorrow, even nationwide. So we want to expand this framework in a national scale. But secondly, expansion will result in a consistent signaling towards society, and it benefits everyone regardless of demographic as well as class. So thirdly, we want to approach different stakeholders, especially food delivery services like GrabFood, to incorporate this grading system within their food category, and also setting up an award system, award ceremony to highlight the existing high-grade T2D award. This is already existing in status quo, for instance, in the best award. However, that is still on an opt-in basis. We're also thinking of like maybe wanting to exempt food businesses or premises from paying licensing fee at a point where they're consistently graded S. And lastly, we believe that small businesses, small medium enterprises, as well as multinational corporations could also participate within this process, could apply for the logo to be utilized on the product at the point where there's already a shift in behavior in consumers when it comes to trend of trend of food. And we've seen this in the US, for instance, vegan food, vegan burger in McDonald's, and as well as a lot of already big companies and MNCs innovating their menu to be much more health conscious. And we want to steer this specifically towards diabetes patient. And we think the framework has already existed in Malaysia. We had a formula and solution for it to be well implemented in towards diabetes patient as well.
Why is her mic suddenly muted, Daniel? She was
yeah, because time ran out of the 5 minutes.
I see. Unfortunately, yeah, okay,
so
all right.
You can ask clarifying questions in the Q&A.
Okay, all right, okay.
Yeah, I finished already.
Okay, I apologize on the judges for that. Okay, again, I give way to my two colleagues, judges. If there's any questions, anyone wants to start the ball rolling? I do have some questions, but I give way to my fellow colleagues first.
Just to comment that I think it's a good place to start in Putrajaya. As you know, it's the most obese state of Malaysia, and it has a very good environment to promote a good, living well outdoors. So actually, that factor at least is actually, set there. So it's good to look at how the food and nutrition factor can then impact when the rest is, sort of controlled. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Okay, any more questions? One more questions from my fellow colleagues, judges, if there's any. Then I have one or two questions or comments.
I do have a quick question. Good presentation though, I like it. Except that, how do you imagine making this grading system more attractive, as in one that is food that is diabetic friendly, more attractive than just generally a simple decision of going to where they want to eat and based on their appetite? How do you change that mindset and culture?
Right. So it works in symbiosis at the point where food premises or businesses have to display a grade D or grade B, for instance. They kind of want to detach themselves from that reputation, because that is what we ask them to do. So I think even though they kind of don't care because their menu is completely detached of that grading system, however, there is a need for them to improve their menu to cater more towards diabetic patients, as well as individuals on us, like as consumers, also can, I guess, assess our rationalization as to why we want to buy their products as well. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I have one or two tough questions for you, all right? Because this is something that requires a lot of debate into what actually is junk food, what actually is non-healthy food. So, okay, let me just start by asking you, you are suggesting a Michelin star for healthy food, am I correct? Just to get the concept correct.
Yeah, like drawing similarities from it.
Right, Michelin star of healthy food. Good. So now the next question is, healthy food can be defined in a lot of ways. And some people just say, we just talk about portion. For instance, you say that McDonald's is not healthy, but as long as the portion is that the portion is taken in the right context, it is healthy, right? We have the you have the meat, you have the oil, you have the sugar in the right proportion. Now, the other tough questions would be, vegan food, is it really nutritious based on our food pyramid system? Because there's no protein inside there. I don't expect you to answer all those questions from the technical point of view. I just want to hear your comments that how do you resolve things like this when, okay, I want to give a 1 star to McDonald's. Don't you think there will be a big, huge uproar when they'll still say, hey, portion-wise, I'm okay. Nobody asks you to eat 3 portions instead of 1 portion. Okay, but not from the scientific aspect, but from that aspect which I'm coming from.
Yeah, so in the makanan, in our existing policy, we have the Makanan Sihat cafeteria Sihat. There's also a guideline given by the Ministry of Health as well. And we seek to incorporate that similar structure, which is to say that they have their own nutritionists to kind of come in and assess the quality themselves. Obviously, like for me, like I do not have that legal expertise, but I do not have that expertise. But I do believe that the Ministry of Health could probably do that, but as well as complementing it with already also pre-existing structure, which is to say they have to go through training and also have that form of, I guess they also have to tell their consumers like the pinggan dua suku-suku setengah, I think. Like we have that in status quo, but also kind of display that on their food like premises and what is healthy for diabetes or healthy, what is healthy. So that could be incorporated as well.
It's okay. It's a very tough question because similar like comment, is coffee healthy, right? Coffee has 0 value, no nutrition, no nothing, isn't it? But anyway, it doesn't matter. We're not talking about the science of it. It's just that when you want to do something, you have to convince people, the stakeholders, in this case, the food industry, that you're fairly judging grading the system. So that may present a lot of problems because foods are so varied that I think the food industry will give you a big headache in the judging. It's okay. Just a tough comment. So thank you very much for that. If you think that I'm trying to rush through, it's actually that I have to leave in 5 minutes past 12. So I hope you all will able to excuse my seem to be in a state of hurriness. Okay, I'll pass it back to Daniel, please.
Okay, all right. So the next team quickly is team number 10.
Okay, Bismillah. All right, can everybody hear us?
Yes, I can.
All right.
Okay. Good morning, judges and everyone. I'm Aisha.
I'm Mina.
And we are representing
Team 10.
As you can see, Gula Di Sebalik Batu is the name of our main campaign, and it conveys the meaning that in anything that we eat, there's something that is out of sight that we must consider, similar to the Malay idiom. Our focus is on the local food environment of university students with normal BMI and have never tested for diabetes. Due to their surroundings not emphasizing the importance of health, they're not mindful of their eating habits. Hence, our team has come up with 2 big solutions: daylight diabetes events that contain talks, explorers, marathon run with incentives, and a food tracking app called Nutrify. I will elaborate on daylight diabetes, and Lina will talk about the Nutrify app soon. So daylight diabetes creates an ongoing and active environment within the campus to recognize diabetes, as well as promoting the complementary app. We plan on partnering with the Ministry of Higher Education and the National Diabetes Association Malaysia because of our corresponding goal, developing and enhancing individuals. Sponsorships and expertise in presenting the issues of diabetes will be of great assistance from them. All right, so for daylight diabetes, events will fit the schedule of the students. For example, in the first semester, we'll have the talk that happens before the mid-semester break and the explorers after the mid-semester break. The talk is where we bring in panelists like healthcare experts, diabetic patients, and patients on dialysis to introduce diabetes and its complications. Journalism or TV clubs of the university can help to make pre-recorded videos on the process of dialysis. Prior to the explorers, nutritionists from Kementerian Kesihatan Malaysia will share on how to eat healthier and read food labels and use the knowledge for the educational competitive race. Fun note, some answers from the explorers can be found from the talks or the app to ensure student participation. For the second semester, we have a marathon run and a big trip. The marathon run helps us raise funds to purchase diabetic supplies for patients with financial burden.
Our biggest incentive is the trip that provides students a chance to connect to local fruits and vegetables. Throughout the whole event, we will be handing out free fruits and vegetable packs as sponsored by Jabatan Pertanian and student discounts on fruit and vegetable near the university area. Feedback forms will be sent out to make evaluations on how to improve the events. Ultimately, daylight diabetes are to happen every semester to ensure that students are exposed to the concept of diabetes and it will stay fresh in their minds so they will be on the lookout of what goes in their body. Now, Lina will explain Nutrify app.
Before I explain, I would like to just clarify something before I move on to talking about the specs of our app. During the run of the campaign, the app will contribute immensely to not only the participants, but also those who are running the campaign. So moving on, the name of the app we came up with is Nutrify. So the FYE that within Nutrify stands for your excellence. So the main purpose of this app is for the convenience and to help to guide the students to lead a healthy diet. Due to time constraints, I will only talk for about 4 important features, which include the first one, exclusivity. So since our target mainly revolves around university students, we designed it in a manner where they would need to log in through their university emails and then pick the university which they attend. This would help us to only target those within our selected target group. In regards to the campus food, we considered that university cafes do not necessarily provide the healthiest options. So to combat this, the app will show the nutrition information of all the foods being sold, as well as further warnings on certain ingredients that individuals may be allergic to. The food tracker does what a food tracker does. It tracks your food. By that, I mean anything related to it, like tracking the nutrition or calorie intake, suggesting meals based on your previous meals, daily reminders to eat your fruits and vegetables, and even considering university students tend to skip their meals, remind you to take your meals. So basically, this is a very personal level app. The usage of analytics will also help the user to know their average nutrition intake, and with this information will show them if they continue eating in a certain way, will they be at risk in the near future or not. The app has been gamified where the future the app has been gamified when the users receive daily challenges, weekly challenges, and would be rewarded for their short-term goals and reaching a certain level number or points. This is basically a positive reinforcement, which is shown to be very effective. So to conclude, this app is complementary to our campaign, and we would like to thank you for listening to our talk. And if you want to know more about the app, please check out our website. And I hope that we contributed to some of the awareness that was gained by the public on the prevalence of diabetes. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was quite clear. Again, fellow judges, your comments, please. Okay, maybe I start off by asking you about the gamification. Of course, I understand gamification. We have apps like those people who have virtual runs, where they carry a handphone, and then when they reach 10,000 steps a day, they get rewarded by vouchers. So that one, your run is actually monitored. In this case, how do you actually validate the gamification component?
Sorry, what do you mean by validate the gamification
component? You see, like the exercise app, the handphone actually trace your steps. Don't talk about the cheating. People will tie to the dog and the dog will run. But don't talk about those cheating, because the handphone actually validate how many steps you take a day, and then you get points, vouchers, etc. For this gamification, is there a validation component, or they depend on the person just to key in what he is?
Yeah, so like it's a two-way communication thing, because the app has to be used by the user. So it can be if the user participates in challenges, like the daily challenges and the weekly challenges, and also the reminder. For example, you have to eat 2 fruits in one day, then you get experience points, right? And then
how do you validate that?
What do you mean validate? Like how
do you know you actually eat 2 portions of food?
And in that case, that it depends on the user to be truthful. Yeah, it depends on the user, because right now our emphasis, our purpose is to emphasize the health, the importance of what we put into our body. If the user recognizes that, then that is enough for us. But if the user lies, then that is on them, because that's the user.
May I just add, the point of the app is to also basically instill that that it's kind of like the user has to take responsibility for themselves. So we are teaching them through the campaign. We are teaching them that they have to take responsibility for their actions and for what they eat. So that is why we made the app. So to make sure that they can still keep on track, despite not being in the campaign or despite not attending campaigns.
Sure. It's okay. I understand all of it quite well. Your presentation was very clear. It's just that when we talk about game and rewards, how do you validate those, the points that you earn? So in this case, we haven't reached that stage yet. It's just self-declaration on whether you eat fruits that day or not. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Okay, my fellow colleagues, judges, do you have any other comments for that? Okay, so maybe one last comment. Yours is, sorry, Swee King, you want to say something?
No, I saw this presentation earlier. I yield to you.
Thank you very much. So I think this campaign is quite good in the sense that on one side, you want to push some health education aspect of it during lectures and so on. And on the other side, you want to empower the people to do that. So probably I don't like to use negative words, so my comment would be rather, at this moment, as you say, there are quite a lot of apps in the market, nutritional apps and so on. And even the Ministry of Health apps that we have are very slow uptake component. So your biggest challenge, I think, would be designing an app that can actually attract people to use it. Okay. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for that.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. So, okay, we go to the lucky group who managed to squeeze in as the number 5. Over back to you, facilitator Daniel.
Yes, team number 9, please get ready.
Yeah, okay. Can everybody hear me clear? Just mic check.
Me too. Yep, mic check.
Mic check, mic check.
1 2 1 2.
All right. Wait, let me find. Okay. Can we start?
Yeah, please.
All right, so, hi everyone, my name is Jasmine and here with me is Vaughn. We are from Group 9 and this is our solution. So Project TVD, or Project to Beat Diabetes, is a community-led project that is made by the people for the people. We believe that diabetes is a public health issue and not an individual moral failure, which is why my team and I have come up with an intervention program in order to help patients who are battling a lifelong war with diabetes. So to illustrate our solution, let's get to know Gilbert. Gilbert is a 31-year-old who stays in a HDB flat alone in KL and is living with diabetes. Gilbert is actually part of the B40 community and works an office job from 9 to 5. You see, Gilbert actually knows how to eat healthily and the importance of exercising, but there are so many variables that prevent him from doing so. It is no-brainer that healthy food is expensive, especially with Gilbert working overtime on a daily basis in order to fund his glucose strips. Gilbert does not have the luxury of time to cook up a healthy meal. Moreover, gym memberships are expensive, and by the time he ends work, he will not have the energy to work out anymore. All these seemingly bad decisions that he makes are not within his control, and Project TVD addresses that.
That's right, Jess. Unfortunately, Gilbert is just one of the many B40 diabetics living in Malaysia. Everyone, you and I, including the B40 group, knows that eating healthily and exercising regularly are components of a healthy lifestyle. But what else? What's stopping us from doing it? Project TBD believes that every individual can be empowered to change the seemingly unchangeable by teaching them about the barriers and how to advocate for themselves, empowering them to voice out. But first, why did we target the B40 group? In Malaysia, the B40 group has a higher estimated population of diabetics, and as well as for low-income countries such as Malaysia, low-middle-income countries such as Malaysia, it is likely that the impact of diabetes is greatest in groups with lower socioeconomic status.
So here is our solution. There will be 3 core areas. The first being the multi-level course module that focuses on self-care and empowerment, which then caters to different groups of people such as patients with diabetes, family members, or members of the society. The next area is a community support group where patients and the community can come together and provide support while linking them to existing groups such as Diabetes Malaysia. This can be extremely helpful to patients who do not have a solid support system back home. The third area is a personalized care system for the patients. This function reminds patients through notifications which are actually tailored to their needs, allowing patients to actually take responsibility for their health. And all of that in one beautiful application. We notice that most apps are not exactly the best looking or very functional, which actually leads to lower engagement and retainment. So with an easy user interface and also an aesthetically pleasing outlook, we hope that this will be able to retain the users, and with the personalized reminders and trackers, it will end up becoming an app that they require or use frequently. Don't you agree, Vaughn?
Yes, Jasmine, that's right. So let me tell you why our idea works. The first is instead of being another self-help app or another weight loss program, we center on empowerment and building community within our course modules. The second reason is that course modules in our app are easily adaptable and expandable to be turned into booklets, posters, class syllabi, and etc. The third reason is that healthcare professionals can now bypass basic diabetes knowledge and can further individualize diabetic therapy to newly diagnosed patients or their caregivers. The fourth reason is that our map of currently existing support groups and healthcare centers can let newly diagnosed patients and caregivers to look for support in their own community so that they don't have to start from scratch. And so here are some of the long-term outcomes that we anticipate. The first is diabetes ambassadors in a community. Individuals who go through all the course modules in our app can choose to receive additional training to be health ambassadors in their own regions. For example, diabetes ambassadors can host health screenings. They can also host health talks in their own kampongs or tamans. The second, reduce reliance on initiatives. Communities now have the capacity to organize initiatives and programs alongside the Ministry of Health or other NGOs, but with less reliance on their manpower or resources. And the third, since Project TBD is made by the people for the people, we plan to make it an open source project. In-app currency such as the premium version will be awarded to contributors in this open source project in all areas, including translation, information accuracy, app development, design, and etc. So before I end this presentation, I just want to leave you with this quote. Self-care is important, but do you know what's revolutionary? Community care. And that's all from Team 9. Thank you.
Thank you very much for Team 9. Judges, any comments? Okay, maybe I will start the ball rolling first. So your solution is actually very dependent on community engagement, and of course with the use of an apps to assist. That's very good. You also suggested like diabetic ambassadors and so on, and groups, diabetic support groups.
Yep.
Now, based on the current situation in Malaysia,
Mm-hmm.
do you think that this kind of suggestions will be adopted easily by the community?
Yes, so we have a few strategies to approach this. The first is to actually integrate our app into currently existing healthcare solutions. For example, at the point of care, we might get a poster or a booklet or a brochure about diabetes management. But within that booklet, we can include just a tiny QR code to scan and say, download this app to aid with your diabetic journey. And that we can definitely approach physicians or healthcare professionals to integrate this within their system, within their management system, so that they don't have to keep, monitoring their patients individually, because the app can help them do that.
That's for the apps, but your other suggestions?
Yeah, my other suggestions is that we will be promoting this at the point of care anyway. So like people, like for example, if I'm a nutritionist and I have a diabetic patient, I will be recommending them to use the app alongside my advice, alongside whatever brochures that I'll be giving them. So this would ease the process of transition.
Your apps is the main tool for your presentation. Like the apps is the main item, not the ambassadors, diabetic ambassadors.
The ambassadors is the long-term outcomes that we anticipate to happen. Yeah, it's the long-term outcomes that we anticipate.
The apps is the one that you're focusing on.
Correct. Yes.
Right. Okay. I got a better picture now.
All right. No problem.
Thank you. So, any more comments from the other judges? If there are no comments, I for myself personally, I'm done. Because I have to rush, so I think I better say it now that all your presentations were fantastic actually. Some a bit more difficult to implement, some a bit easier, but overall I think the presentation was great, and you all did a great job. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Also, since we have time, if you guys want, you guys can go to our website. You guys can test out our app that we made. It's a prototype, so it's like individualized. You can be a diabetic patient or non-diabetic, so like, and then it will like individualize stuff like that.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, and then so like these are the course modules, and then you can go through the course modules. So yeah, it's very pretty. We made this from scratch. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Vaughn. Sorry, really sorry to interrupt.
It's okay.
Thank you very much. Okay, Daniel.
Okay, so now all judges will be in a breakout room to deliberate on the finalists and their scores.
Hi there, everyone. Congratulations to the 5 teams that just presented, and thank you everyone for your patience. Before I proceed, could I get, yes, just gonna ask to stop presenting for a bit, thank you. So right now we have a quick moment to wait for the judges to deliberate, after which what's gonna happen is we are going to have a judge's remark first, and the judge's remark will be from the CEO of Impact Integrated, which is Mr. Ahmed Faris. He'll be sharing kind of like a snapshot of what the judges have felt throughout your presentations. We will not be announcing the winners yet, because obviously that's the, the climax of the hackathon. So that'll be a little bit later. So what we'll be doing is after the remarks from Mr. Ahmed, we will then be going into a finale speech by Marine from Sanofi. And then we do have a special closing keynote address, like the final one, by the Minister of Health himself, which is Dr. Adam Baba, which has been pre-recorded and is ready to be watched by you. After that, our chief judge, ideally, assuming he hasn't gone to his meeting yet, he will be presenting the final 3 winners, the winners of the RM 5K prize, 3K prize, and of course the RM 2K prize. I know later it's going to be super, super chaotic, so let me just rephrase this here again. To the final 3 winners of the hackathon, please stay back. What's going to happen is we need to quickly interview you for our press release. So the final 3 winners, I'll be passing you 3 links to be interviewed by me, Dharma, and Anusha immediately after the session, so please stay back. Okay? Yes. I think that's all from me for now. I'm not sure if Daniel is here or if you're stuck with me for the time being. I think Daniel has left. Yeah, so what's going to happen now is we're just going to have a quick deliberation, and you all can just unwind for a little bit, for a couple of minutes. Oh, I have been informed by David from across the sphere that voting link remains open for an additional 5 more minutes. You are reminded to vote in the next, 2 minutes at aros.cc/ssws1. I'll add this in the chat as well. So please feel free to support your favorite groups. In the meanwhile, I am actually curious to know, and I would like to open up the space for any of the mentors to share their reflections from the past week while waiting, while we have this space. Perhaps Dr. Faisal, if you would like to share anything?
Hi, everybody. I'm not a mentor, Vishni, so I was asking whether you forgot. So maybe ask the mentors first if they've got anything to say. I see a few online. Over.
My apologies on that. I'm a little bit kanchiong, my bad. But yes, I would like to open this up to any of the mentors to share a few words to our participants.
Hi everyone, can you hear me? Roshni, this is Aruna. So overall, all the teams did an amazing job, super impressive in the short duration that was given to them. You know, it was just amazing. Particular shout out to my group. I am a proud parent today. So they took a lot of the things that we had discussed, polished it, and presented it in a manner that was in a very simple, in a very, I would say, acceptable and understandable to the layman. So I'm super proud of them.
Thank you so
for
much.
all the support, Dr. Aruna. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Dr. Aruna. I think without your input, I don't think we could have developed this idea as best as we could. So thank you so much.
Yeah. Hello. Hi everyone. This is Amal here. Just to add on, I think the last 2 weeks and especially seeing all the presentations today, it's really wonderful. And I kind of second Dr. Aruna in saying that we have seen really so much being put together in so little time, and especially when we are all working in a virtual remote environment. I think the biggest win is there is a understanding of the need of the urgency of taking care of this diabetes, and I think we have at least newer ambassadors of diabetes, or at a broader level of health awareness, which can be built upon by programs as these. And I think the participants in this hackathon are a testament to that. So kudos to the team, kudos to all the participants for a really lovely participation and the enthusiasm that you have shown. And I'm sure there are elements from these outputs which can be taken up by different stakeholders to improve upon all our existing offerings which they are. So all the best again to the teams who went to the finalists, also to my team, Team 1, and hopefully may the best team win.
Hi, this is Christine here. Can you hear me? I want to say great job to everyone, every single one of you. From a blank sheet to such a fantastic presentation with great content and great research. I think it's a great job to all of you, because I think it's definitely not easy for you to work overtime to get it out, because just participating as a mentor and coming to workshop, it's actually quite tough. I'm sure you guys have learned a lot, like myself, through this journey. Love your enthusiasm, keep it up, and look forward to the great impact that you have as our future leader. Thank you.
Hi, this is Haliza from Team 6. So I would like to thank Sanofi, Arus, and Undi 18 for organizing this program. And I am very proud of my teammates from Group 6. I love you guys, and we will definitely continue our connection beyond this program. Thank you.
Hi, this is CJ from Team 6. Just want to congratulate everyone for such a wonderful presentations that you have made. And for Team 9, I really enjoyed working with all of you, and you have energized me and makes me feel really young again. And really that all the ideas that you have really given, shown and have stimulated me to think more ideas, how to help people with diabetes and how to prevent diabetes. So well done and all the best.
Thank you so much to all our mentors for sharing that. I'm wondering if anyone else would like to take the space while waiting. Also, my apologies. My Google slide dah tekan. My apologies. Let me go back. Okay. I'm wondering if anyone would like to use this space as well. Please feel free to do so. Because after this, it's gonna be like, it's gonna be very fast paced.
Can the participants say something?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, Team 9, sorry, once again, Team 9. I'm so proud of you guys. We barely squeezed through. Oh, that was such an emotional roller coaster. Good job, good job.
Hi, can I say something on behalf of... Is my camera on? Yes. Hi, yes. I'd just like to really thank my group mates and all the mentors that helped us. It was really difficult at first, but then we managed to pull through. Thank you so much to my group mates and the mentors and everybody that helped. And congratulations to all the groups that made it through. Congratulations.
Yes,
I want to say something to Dr. Siva and Zihang for guiding us this whole time. We really, really, really appreciate you guys so much. And thank you, Dr. Siva, for always giving us so much moral support, saying you can do it and all that stuff. We're really oohing on the inside.
Hi, I'm Hasana from Team 6, and I just wanted to say thank you to Dr. Haliza for all her support and guidance, having meetings with us at any point of time just to motivate us and guide us. And a special shout out to Dr. Faisal for actually sitting down and being our first time observer and giving us feedback on how our presentation went, and it really helped us in bettering ourselves. Thank you so much to Dr. Haliza and Dr. Faisal, and to my Team 6, obviously.
Hi, I'm Lina from Team 10. I just wanted to say thank you again to Dr. Siva for being really patient with us and for answering our questions, even really sometimes late at night. And I also want to thank to my team members for their help in the website and also for helping us with the script for today. And yeah, it was really fun.
Thanks, Lina. Kieran, go ahead.
Hello, I'm Kieran from Team 8. I would like to thank my team members for every day we've been Zooming and every day we've been meeting online. But other than that, I would like to thank also to Christine, our mentor, and also Nabiha for being our guardian angel throughout this journey. And without all the support from all of everyone, I don't think we can make this through. And I'm truly grateful. Thank you so much.
All right. Please go ahead. I think Kishan next.
Yeah, I want to thank my team, obviously. But I have loads of time to be able to express that gratitude to them. So I just want to take this opportunity to thank both Dr. Gunan for bearing with us and all of our, albeit sometimes silly questions. And above all, I really want to thank Zihang because for someone who has literally been managing the structure of this hackathon and making a lot of it possible, I think it was amazing that he was still able to find time to always be with us and guide us along the way. I don't think he deserves as much appreciation as he, ought to. And I just want to give him a big shout out for that.
Thanks, Kishan. Anyone else would like to go ahead while we have this moment?
Can I just give a shout out? Shout out to a few people. First would be Dr. Kim Sui for answering our questions any time of the day, being ready to jump on a call, whether it's at night or in the morning, or sometimes even during meal times. We're really, really grateful for the continuous support that we've got. Dr. Siva as well for shadowing and supporting us throughout the way and consistently giving us encouragement, and not to mention David for entertaining all our questions and queries and also motivating us throughout. So that's a shout out for our mentors as well as a facilitator, and shout out to my team. That's been extremely amazing to work with. So yeah, and shout out to all the other teams here and really enjoyed your presentation.
Anyone else would like to go ahead? I see.
This is
Lee. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay. So this is Wenli from T9. Okay. So first I want to thank my team
Team 9. Okay, and then I also want to thank our mentor, CJ. He named himself T9 here, so like we feel belong. Also, we want to thank our Festi, Wei Yang, for answering our questions. And thank you, everyone.
If I can just chime in. Basically wanted to say this is such an amazing experience. And I hope that all of you guys who are participating here today, like, will continue to be engaged in the discussion on diabetes in Malaysia. It's still a big issue after this policy. And maybe if you guys have all these amazing solutions, like, actually implement them, you know, like, you can actually move the needle forward in changing the future of diabetes, especially for our generation in the future. So yeah, lovely to see all your ideas.
Also, I don't know if this is okay to ask, but like, if any of you guys wanna like keep in contact in the future, maybe drop your IGs in the comment section. So like, yeah, maybe who knows, we might meet in another competition, maybe in the same group, hopefully one day. So yeah, I'll drop mine in the chat as well. Yeah, bye.
One more thing. Okay, I might be playing Among Us tonight. So add me on IG. I'm Von Hart. Then I have an Among Us server that we can play together. Yay!
All right, so that's tonight's entertainment settle.
I will definitely join.
Sorry, just a very quick update from behind the scenes team. They are still deliberating the calculation so that it's super accurate. So they're asking for a bit more of your patience before we announce the winners. But yes, please feel free to organize your after parties while you can. Are you guys sharing Instagram handles? Okay, fair enough. It is supposed to be a networking opportunity. Okay, so also not a winner update yet, but I was just informed that because of time, Dr. Chong has to make his leave first. So we will still continue with the program, i.e. we will go on to Marine's speech, followed by Dr. Adam Baba's closing keynote, and then Marine, who is the country lead and general manager from Sanofi. She is the one who will be announcing our top 3 winners for today. Just giving you that heads up, but please give us few more minutes to finalize the scoring.
Okay, the judges have already written.
So fast.
So I would like to welcome Dr. Kos Wee King to give a few remarks on behalf of all the judges.
Hello, everyone again. Let me check that you can hear me and see me okay? I'll proceed. There are 3 things I would like to share with all of you. Firstly, congratulations on behalf of all the judges. We had a conversation, and some of the words that came out of the conversation were things like energy, passion, commitment, holistic, incredible experience, very inspiring. We, the judges, have learned a lot. We want to engage with you more, and you've really challenged the status quo. So I've given you a download of all the words that were used in that confidential deliberation between all the judges and I. So I want to say congratulations, and we're very, very proud of you. You've all done a really, really good job by challenging the status quo and doing something that is very unfamiliar to you. We want to begin with that note. Congratulations. Secondly, we want to provide a few ideas for you to consider as you go on in your policy-making career, shall we say. And you may want to write this down a little bit, but the themes will be very clear and easily understood for you. As a few suggestions, we firstly would like to suggest that over time, and this is inexhaustible, to add knowledge. meaning not just provide assertions and chains of logic, but to add pure knowledge into diabetes and how people might think and so on. The second thing that you can consider adding is research. I think it was Isaac Newton who said, if I have seen further than others, it is because I was standing on the shoulders of giants. If you're able to provide research and citations of existing work, it will make your proposal and policies a lot stronger. Add research, add knowledge. The third one is to add clarity. And by that, we also mean smaller burdens of proof. Sometimes, what some teams were doing is sketch out a problem that's this big, but you propose a solution that's very small. If you are clear about the kinds of problems that you want to solve, the solutions should be also proportional to the size of the problems that you want to solve. And we encourage adding clarity. Fourthly and finally, we also encourage adding real-life practical elements. For example, specifically, incentives. The question is, what's in it for me? To download the application, to join your program, to participate in this particular project, to run a marathon, etc., etc. So if you add in the real world, what's in it for me, the incentives for human beings to participate in healthier programs or health promoting programs, that would be wonderful. So add knowledge, add research, add clarity, including smaller burdens of proof, and add real life practicalities. And we suggest this in the coming few years and decades of your career. Finally, we want to end with the note that over time, as you grow in your career in policy making, you build on this great and excellent start that you have by being uncomfortable. What we mean to say is a lot of your ideas are great. They're also tailored at the moment to subject areas that you're very comfortable with, and that's great. However, in future, you will be asked to make policies in areas that you're not very well versed with. Therefore, adding knowledge, adding real-world research and real-world clarity, I think will be helpful as well. Some areas that could have been considered in this particular, in this 2-3 weeks or so, right? For example, healthcare delivery solutions. So very few people, or almost nobody, spoke about how to deliver insulin, for example, in tropical conditions. What about a diabetes nurse educator? And how do we work with diabetes nurse educators in the community? And what is the role of, shall we say, pharmaceutical companies and so on and so forth, like Sanofi, in delivering healthcare as well? A lot of it was towards the obesogenic environment, which is great. However, the point that we're making is at some point you will be asked to become a little uncomfortable in policy making. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for allowing me to share my thoughts on behalf of all the judges. We're all very, very proud of you. Congratulations once again. Daniel, over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Kor. Okay, before we announce the winners, I would like to invite Marie as country lead for Sanofi to give a closing speech.
Can you hear me now? Sorry about this. I had a little technical issue. So hello again and good afternoon. Greetings to the Honorable Minister who had to leave us now but spent a lot of time with us. Very dear Hackathon participants and distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, everyone here. So the war on diabetes has been a long drawn one.
Apologies, just give us a moment. We seem to have lost Marine there for a little bit. Maybe I'll give her like maybe a spare 30 seconds if that's okay by everyone. Yeah. If she's not here yet, then we will move on to the next session first, and then maybe we can continue with Marine when she re-enters the conversation. Okay, so sorry about that. My apologies. I guess this is live event can't be helped. Thank you for your patience. In that case, Daniel, can we then move on to the next session first? I think you have the video prepared. In that case, maybe when Marine enters, we will go back to her. But for now, we have a closing keynote address from the Ministry of Health, specifically from the Minister himself, i.e. Dr. Adam Baba, with a message for all of you participants. Daniel, when you're ready, go ahead.
Yang berbahagia Tan Sri Datuk Seri Dr. Nur Hisham Abdullah, Director General of Health, Ministry of Health. Yang berbahagia Datuk Dr. Cheong Chee Kiong, Deputy Director General of Health, Ministry of Health. Yang berbahagia Datuk Dr. Zanaria Hussein, President, Malaysian Endocrine and Metabolic Society. Yang berusaha Puan Merin, Country Leads and General Manager of General Medicine, Sanofi. Yang berusaha Dr. Faizul Izzuan Mustafa, Deputy Director of Non-Communicable Disease, Ministry of Health. Yang berusaha Dr. Ko Swee Keng, Founder of Malaysian Health Coalition. Yang berusaha Tuan Ahmad Faris Amir, CEO Impact Integrated. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And greeting to all participants, speakers and mentors. I am very honored to deliver the closing address of Malaysian First Digital Youth Hackathon for Diabetes, Sweet Spot Malaysia 2020. I am delighted to see many familiar names joining this hackathon as distinguished judge, honorable speakers, and mentors from the Ministry of Health, Ministry of Education, industry experts, non-profit organizations, and professionals. Statistics from the most recent National Health and Mobility Survey have been very concerning for Malaysia. Nearly 1 in 5 Malaysian adults has diabetes, and an estimated 3.9 million Malaysians aged 18 and above suffer from this disease. The government is giving serious attention to this increase, as it is becoming a major economic burden on the healthcare system and national economy. I am very concerned as the impact of diabetes on society is damaging. It can impose a large economic burden on people with diabetes and their families, such as loss of income associated with disability and premature deaths. We have done a lot to prevent and control diabetes in Malaysia through the National Strategic Plan for NCDs. However, there is still much more that we can and need to do. It is therefore an urgent and important need for intersectoral involvement and collaboration for an effective diabetes prevention and treatment in Malaysia. By intersectoral, I do not mean just the different ministries and departments of the government, but also the NGOs, professional organizations like Sanofi, the media, and civil society. With this regard, I would like to inform that everyone plays an important role in creating a supportive environment to support a healthy lifestyle for our people in the war against diabetes. While the Ministry of Health continue to strengthen effort to provide an effective and comprehensive screening for the NCD risk factors in all our health facilities, we need to continue to raise Malaysian awareness of the importance of regular health screenings through mass media and health promotional campaign. We need to ensure that the public is aware of the diabetes issues, taking necessary action to solve the problem. Simple step to prevent diabetes: be active, less sugar, and stay healthy. I'm glad to see that this 6-day digital youth hackathon has been successful in raising diabetes awareness among youth and public. I am impressed with all the great ideas contributed by the youth. Our youth must also be ready to take charge, heading change within communities. In order to impact the nation, we must be the change we wish to see ourselves, however small and insignificant our action may seem. Some of you have managed to come up with very exciting recommendations. I am very impressed with all the solutions. I hope this effort will continue beyond this hackathon, as your role as an agent for change should be a lifelong one. Do continue to raise awareness on diabetes among your community, as you will also be empowering more people to live their healthiest lives. Last but not least, congratulations to Sanofi for leading this groundbreaking initiative, along with the youth organizations, to come out with this forward-thinking idea of sweet spot potato Malaysia. From the Ministry of Health, we are glad to support these initiatives to address our healthcare challenge together. Let us all work together for a healthier Malaysia. With Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, I officially conclude Sweet Spot Malaysia Digital Youth Hackathon for Diabetes 2020. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much to Dr. Adam Baba, and also thank you very much to the Ministry of Health in general, because they have been such strong supporters to Sweet Spot Malaysia throughout the entire process, from ideation up until now, as evident as some of your mentors who are also from Ministry of Health themselves. So thank you very much. I do believe Maureen is back with us. Maybe if I can pass the space back to Maureen for her speech.
Thank you very much, and very sorry for losing you very quickly as I started to speak. So, as I was saying, maybe if I just restart, this war on diabetes has been a long drawn one, and it's imperative for us to have concentrated efforts in fighting diabetes to ensure that this war does not prolong, and the patient get the medical attention that they need. Diabetes is not discriminatory. It can affect anyone. And as we all know, as you all know by now, it's a major public health concern in Malaysia. And the prevalence of type 2 diabetes has escalated to about 20% for adults above the age of 30, affecting, several millions of individuals and subsequently affecting every corner of their life immensely. But as much as we acknowledge that diabetes is a major public health concern in Malaysia, the surrounding discourse does not reflect the magnitude of the problem. So pre-existing issues such as, the lack of awareness amongst the everyday public, taboos about diabetes complication, increase the need of having these difficult conversations on the disease. From, how one consumes food to the getting diagnosed and treated, diabetes has indefinitely affected lives. And however, this does not mean that these patients, are incapable of living their best lives, do not have that opportunity. So Sanofi has supported diabetic care for close to a century through innovation and sustained research effort in diabetes medication and insulin, transforming the lives of countless diabetic patients. We build on our heritage and commitment to innovation to improve quality of life and to support patients and healthcare system by offering more than medicine. And by combining, Sanofi's quality drugs with services, devices, data management, we aim at giving new hope to millions of people. Our integrated care solutions aim to improve outcomes and patient experiences. We've developed innovative value-based medicines and connected solutions designed to address the most urgent medical and societal need. And through this work, our purpose is to help people with diabetes improve their quality of life. And we aim at supporting the sustainability of healthcare systems. Diabetes treatment has continuously expanded to provide better accessibility to the public. However, this doesn't mean this is enough. There is still a lot to do to ensure that diabetes treatment is accessible as going to a clinic without having to worry about economic hardship, social pressure, judgment. And in an ideal world, all these worries would have been subsided as better and more efficient treatment, and they will be more easily available and accessible for all diabetes patients. Steady growth in the medical industry via technological advancement, better physical capital or infrastructure, more allocation placed into educating the public about diabetes has ensured the immense progress of diabetes management in Malaysia. And in Sanofi, we understand that insulin therapy is the traditional cornerstone for the treatment of diabetes, but our work in this area is far from finished. We continue to deepen our understanding of insulin biology so that we can develop novel insulin formulations, such as glucose sensing insulins or insulin sensitizers. Our goal is to prevent and reduce the progression of type 2 diabetes and its complications, and ultimately improve the quality of life of patients. So, dear all, ladies and gentlemen, dear hackathon participants, everyone, our society needs to work together collectively in approaching and dealing with the very pressing issue of diabetes. And this is to ensure that we win this war by alleviating the sufferings of diabetes patients, and it's imperative that we do it as a united front. And, you know, amongst the reason why we held this project, this digital youth hackathon really seeks to serve the purpose of educating the youth leaders about diabetes and to formulate solutions to it via, you know, all those ideas, all those conversations that we're having. This past weeks and today and all these many discussions have been very exciting and very energizing, and they're really working towards that direction. So to cap off this event, you know, before we announce the winners, I'd like to express my deepest appreciation to Minister of Health Malaysia for their invaluable support, and to the youth movement, Undi 18 and Aras Academy for connecting us with all of you, all of the youth participants, and to make this project a real success. I hope that each and every one of you has learned something and is more inspired to do more in this area. The future awaits you, and I really, really encourage you to keep hacking your way through every single unfortunate barrier you may face. Thank you very much, and good luck.